In any case, hey, this is really funny. The NFL is having a really big problem because of the lockout of its union referees, where there's just blown call after blown call, and just disasters are happening constantly. And Scott Walker, Republican governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, who is the union buster at large, is now demanding the return of those unionized NFL referees because the replacement referees are really negatively affecting the Green Bay Packers, which he really likes. Isn't this ironic?
It's kind of funny. I mean, it could be argued that because of unions, these refs are, it's the unions that allow these refs to do this lockout and to go on strike when they do and those sorts of things. But yeah, you'd think he would offer an alternative to union employees.
Governor Walker tweeted out on his @GovWalker Twitter account, after catching a few hours of sleep, the Packers game is still just as painful. Return the real refs. What happened? I mean, I'm hearing that this weekend there was just disaster after disaster.
Yeah, well, in the Packers game, which happened last night, I guess there was a last-minute Hail Mary pass by Seattle.
Also known as a fail Mary.
Right. And it was very clear that the pass was intercepted in the end zone by a Green Bay Packer.
Right.
One of the receivers from Seattle just kind of had his hand on the ball in a weird way, and the refs called it a touchdown. Then they reviewed it, and it stuck.
Right.
But it was very clear that it was intercepted.
What was the commentary on air when the call was made?
I mean, John Gruden, I guess, was like, this is unbelievable. Like, what is going on? Like, they called it comical.
Right.
The commentators were basically making fun of the refs and saying that this was a disaster.
What other big ones have there been?
Also this weekend, in the Cowboys game, Romo goes back to throw. He's looking for a certain guy in the end zone. The guy kind of slips and obviously doesn't get thrown to because of that. Turns out the ref threw his hat into the end zone. Now, normally you're just supposed to throw it along the sideline to signify when someone goes out of bounds. He throws it into the end zone. The receiver falls on the hat, okay? And because of that, possibly missed a touchdown.
Right.
Like, I mean, he might have, it's a very good chance he might have been thrown to and had a touchdown.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And all sorts of just terrible calls, confusion. It's a disaster.
So long story short, union busting is okay for Scott Walker as long as his Packers don't lose. It's funny because a lot of Packers players actually urged Wisconsinites to vote against Scott Walker in the recall, which is also pretty funny. Just an incredible situation with the NFL refs and also with Scott Walker.
Yeah, nuts.
Typical of Republicans. You're against stuff except when it helps you personally.
Right.